can't hear me. I have fixed it. There it is. What is good was happening, everybody? It's your welcome to another great edition of Good Friends, Better Rivals. It is a solo show. It's not muted. I'm not muted. I fixed it. I fixed the show. You can hear me now, right? You can hear me. I fixed it. It's been fixed. There's no mutation. I'm not muted at all. But I hope I'm not muted. Let me double check this. Now I'm a little confused. Okay, yeah, yes, you can hear me. That's cool. Thank you. Yes, a solo show. It's just me. Well, the Cowboys were on a bye week, so there's not really much to talk about there. They won the bye week. No one got injured. It's fine. We could have previewed the Cowboys Niners game, but Deron Bland and Micah Parsons are not playing, so I think the Niners are going to win that game. So it's whatever. Caleb probably agrees because of the injuries, but there's also injuries on the Niners side, but not as bad as the Cowboys side. But pretty much we're going to be talking about Giants, Eagles for like the next 30 minutes. It's not going to be a long show. It's going to be about 30 minutes because, it's just me by myself. So it was, the biggest storyline of this game was Saquon Barkley. It was his first game back to MetLife. The graveyard of dreams is what I'm starting to call it because we're not very good at home. We're horrible at home. There's no life to us at home. It could be the stadium. It could be the aura. It could be the juju of it. It could be just how we're just a bad team. It could be a multitude of factors, but we were bad this week. We're bad at home every week. We were bad at home last week. We're just bad at home. And the biggest storyline of this was Saquon Barkley, and that's what the biggest storyline stayed was Saquon Barkley because the Eagles made a concerted effort to run the ball on us. Saquon Barkley had over 176 yards rushing, 17 carries, a touchdown. He had 10 yards a carry. Their passing game was literally non-existent. Jalen Hurts only had 114 yards passing and a touchdown. It was pretty much A.J. Brown and nothing else. So it was kind of just a lackluster passing game. It really didn't matter because they really wanted to run the ball. I decided to watch the all 22 later, and I literally just watched all the rushes for Saquon Barkley because that's really what the game was. The game was to run the ball down the New York Giants' throats. That's what it was. That's what it was, and that's what they did. And they did successfully, to be quite honest. They had over 269 rushing yards. We had 76. Our passing yards was 43. Daniel Jones was sacked 8 times, I believe, in the game. We were missing. Let me double check it. Yeah, Giants let 8 sacks. We were missing Andrew Thomas, our all-star left tackle. He's injured. He's probably out for the year. So Joshua Zudu was the left tackle. Jermaine Illuminor got injured as well. So in the game, he wasn't a participant in practice today as we speak. Brian Burns re-aggravated his groin injury in the game, so he was kind of limited in the game as well. So the defense really didn't hold up as well. But of course, your defense isn't holding up when your offense isn't doing anything. Your defense is on the field a lot, and it drains them. Even great defenses need a break once in a while. And I'm not saying this defense is great; it's very good. This defense is very good. So of course, when they're on the field a lot, they're going to crumble. It happens to all the defenses. When you're on the field a lot, stuff crumbles all the time. Burns, Illuminor, Jamie Gillen are punters still out, so we still have backups in the specialist categories and kicker and punter. Greg Joseph and Matt Hawk. So there's that. Jalen Hyatt was a full participant today with his ribs. He's back. But yeah, man, it was a tale of one story. They ran the ball. We couldn't protect Daniel Jones. It's that simple. Pretty much. But the main key is that they ran the ball. They wanted to run the ball. They won 28-3. They pulled Saquon Barkley in the third quarter because the game was already over. Of course it was, because the offense of the New York Giants showed them nothing. They were up 21-3 going into the fourth. There was no passion, no lust, no nothing. That there's nothing to play for the Giants. They just kind of like said, we lost. Again, this is one of the best offensive lines in all of football. Even though they lost Jason Kelce, Still got Jordan Mailata. Still got Lane Johnson, Landon Dickerson. Now they replaced Jason Kelsey with Cam Jurgens, I believe. Is their starting center now? Let me double check that. Cam Jurgens. Depth chart. There it is. We talked about this before the season, how their offensive line is still the best in the league. Yeah, so Cameron Jurgens. Their right guard, it's either Tyler Steen or Mekhi Becton. Mekhi Becton being the left tackle from the Jets who kept getting injured. Mailata's injured, actually. He's on IR. So their left tackle now is Fred Johnson. See, they're just finding random offensive linemen that are now solid plug-and-play players. This is the Jeff Soutland University era of offensive play. He's one of the best offensive line coaches in the game, period. He's just teaching these players how to play within themselves on that offensive line. Lane Johnson, he probably jumps off sides more than once. It is what it is. It doesn't matter because he keeps getting away with it. So it doesn't really matter to complain about it anymore because it's not going to work. It's really not going to work. So there's that. And that's pretty much what happened. You know, a couple of run fits, especially on the Saquon Barkley 55-yard run that occurred in the second quarter. Azeez Ojulari doesn't hold on the outside. He bounces in, so they wash him out. Tyler Nubin has a big hole to fill, but so does Micah McFadden. Also have to fill that hole as well because it's really big. And then they get washed out. And Saquon just keeps bouncing it to the outside. It takes one block on Tate Banks, and Saquon's off to the races. That's what it is, and that's what happened. Saquon. So they really just ran the ball all the time, and then a play later, it was a 3 yards. He gets pushed out, 3 yards, touchdown. Couldn't stop him. You know, he used his power, his speed. The defense knows how good Saquon Barkley is, and they really couldn't stop him. You know, that's what happened, really. That's what happens. So I'm actually watching some all 22 right now, some overhead view, see just little run fits. They got a double on Dex. I know you guys are not seeing this, so it's good. A double on Dex, one-on-one on Elijah Chapman. And then you got a one-on-one with Brian Burns, and then you got a one-on-one with DJ Davis. I believe Burns is being blocked by a tight end. See, that's not something you want to see. Your star defensive end being blocked by a tight end and losing that battle. One-on-one against a tight end, defensive end should always win. Unless they're Rob Gronkowski or George Kittle. You know, those are anomalies, especially Rob Gronkowski. He basically was a tackle playing tight end. Is a little crazy that ways, but it happens, you know. But that should never happen to you, with the exceptions I just said. And pretty much, you know, it was kind of like it was the name of the game. It was the story right here. A couple of big runs. They just grinded the Giants to a halt, just to bone. They couldn't stop the run. That's what pretty much the story. There's nothing much I really can talk about. It was just bad run defense. Just bad run defense. A couple of big runs, 55-38 in that sense. Saquon Barkley actually was held out. 41. He had a 41-yard gain. He could have broken his rushing record, but he said, nah, take me out. We're already winning. It doesn't matter. Let the young guys play. It's cool. And he was our best offensive player. This was the story of the week. This is the story. Like, no other story mattered of this week besides this story. Saquon Barkley coming back. The offense was inept. We knew that. Especially now Andrew Thomas is injured. It was going to be more inept. Malik Neighbors came back, but Malik Neighbors didn't really do much because the offensive line was inept, our QB is inept. You know, two things can be true. And Malik Neighbors is like, you know, what can I do? He can't really do much. You know, protection is really lacking. You know, we're 2-5. It's tank season, man. It's tank season. It's tank season. The game against Carolina in Germany is basically the battle for the number 1 overall pick. That's what it is. It's tank season. You know, are we going to win a game we shouldn't win? that's going to ruin our chances? Yeah, we always do that every year. It happens every year. Last year with Tommy DeVito winning those 3 games that we shouldn't have won. He beat Washington, and then he beat Green Bay on Monday night. It's not going to be good. Sometimes you need to lose to build. But the Giants don't want to do that. They don't want to be losers. But they are losers. So they need to accept that. You're a bunch of losers. So accept it and keep it moving. But we'll see if John Mara actually does that. Big story coming out of the Giants this week is John Mara is happy with the leadership. He's going to give Joe Shane and Brian Daboll another year as of this moment. As of this moment. But things can change in a couple weeks. People thought that with Joe Judge, like, oh, well, they're going to give him another year. And then boom, they axed him and David Gettleman. So just because they'll get another chance, don't mean they will get another chance. Doesn't mean they'll get another chance. So there's that. So remember that out. There's nothing really much else to talk about the game. We can talk about how bad the offense is, but every week I talk about how bad the offense is. It's not nothing new. There's nothing new to me to talk about. I'm not going to talk about it because it's the same thing week after week. The offense is bad. The offensive line is bad. The reason, quarterback's bad. Them being bad makes our wide receivers useless. Jalen Hyatt's useless because our QB can't throw deep. Malik Neighbors showed this week that he could be deemed useless if Daniel Jones can't find nothing. He had 4 catches for 41 yards. That's it. There's a bunch of uselessness. Because that's what happens, man. There's nothing we really can do to change anything. Every week, it's the same story. It's the same story every week. And I'm sick and tired of talking about the same thing every week. So I'm not going to, because we already know the answer. They're bad. They're bad. We need a reset. And this GM is bad because he made the deal. He made the deal with Daniel Jones, which is shocking to me because he was with Brandon Beane in Buffalo. I keep talking about this every week. You saw Brandon Beane tell Tyrod Taylor, thank you very much, but no thank you. Have a nice day. We're going to go get Josh Allen because that's our QB of the future. And you were blinded by a average season by Daniel Jones. Of course, you guys played better than you expected because when you're a bad team the year before, they give you a less strong schedule. That's why in the NFL, there's a lot of worst to firsts in divisions because the worst team gets the easiest schedule the following year. So, of course, the New York Giants had a great year that year. Against top competition that year, they looked like an inept team. But they made the playoffs. They beat Minnesota. Minnesota, by the way, who had one of the worst defenses in NFL history. So, of course, the offense played good against them. But now Minnesota doesn't have a bad defense. And look what they did to you week 1. So, it's the same story every week. Giants fans talk about the same thing every week. QB's bad. GM is a letdown. Offensive line is fixed. I hate myself because I'm a Giants fan. Every week. Every week. Same story every week. And then you sit there and you when the Giants game is over and the 1:00 game start, or you peep out another 10:00 game or a 1:00 game on the East Coast, and you see these quarterbacks play good even with bad offensive lines, and you're just like, bruh, why can't I have that? I got no Ravens fans, man, that watch their team every week. Their defense sucks. Some of their wide receivers are not very good, but every week it's like, oh man, I love watching Lamar Jackson play. Why can't I have a Lamar Jackson? Why? Why can't I have one? The man changed people's fortunes in Baltimore. And shoot, I'm shooting for a give me something. I'm getting nothing. Every week, same story. Same story every week. Pittsburgh got Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. Justin Fields said he didn't play good, but he won their like 3 to 4 games. Russell Wilson showed up and beat down the Jets, but that's the Jets. They're bad too. So what more can I say? I can't say nothing else. It's the same thing every week. Same thing every week. QB not playing good. Offensive line stinks. Wide receivers are useless because the offensive line and the QB stink. Same thing every week, bro. Same thing every week. Like I don't understand. And I'm sick and tired of talking about the same thing every week. I really am. I'm tired of it. Maybe one week I won't even talk about nothing. I'll just let Caleb go on here and talk about the Cowboys because what else am I going to say? It's going to be the same thing next week. Monday night against Pittsburgh. You don't think TJ Watt's going to wreak havoc on that offensive line? So let's start previewing next week, Monday night. You don't think, this coming Monday night. You don't think TJ Watt's going to wreak havoc on that offensive line with Jermaine Illuminor also injured? They're going to line up TJ Watt on the left tackle and say, go feast, young man. Then they got Cam Ward in the middle, Joey Porter on the outside. You don't think it's going to be bad? Yeah, it's going to be bad. 15 points last week. Shoot, Giants may not even get 7. Pittsburgh may drop 40. Giants may get some, shitty, whack touchdown that they think. But we'll see. They play better on the road for some odd apparent reason. So we'll see how about that works. Well, we'll see. Pittsburgh starting Russell Wilson again. Giants got Daniel Jones. Najee Harris had a great game last week. Finally showed up. We'll see if he can do it this week because Saquon Barkley had a great game this week. We'll see if Pittsburgh sees that game plan and makes it and makes it a kind of a pattern against the Giants. They can't stop the run, which is crazy because we were very good against the run. Fine. So we're okay, not great, like we're okay, but it was a concerted effort by the Eagles to run the ball on the New York Giants because they wanted to humiliate them with Saquon Barkley. Easy. Pittsburgh, they probably just going to do the same thing, NFL Caleb, shout out to Caleb. Caleb says his official prediction for the Cowboys win. If you're going to beat them, then this is the week to do it. He's talking about the San Francisco 49ers who have beaten the Cowboys, I believe, the last 3 times in a row. But Caleb, you must remember, you also don't have Michael Parsons and Deron Bland, and Kalen Carson is a little banged up. So you also have injuries. Most of the injuries for the Niners are on the offensive side, not on the defensive side. So I expect a defensive slugfest, but they win. I believe the Niners are going to win a defensive slugfest. Because both teams are not playing very well, and injuries are causing both teams to kind of sputter. But on that note, everyone, thank you so much for joining me this week. Appreciate you. But before we go, I'd like to shout out one of our coffee members. Is none other than my big dog Ryan Christensen. Shout out to Ryan Christensen. Let me double check. Where is it? Yeah, Ryan Christian. Is it Ryan? Yeah, Ryan. Yeah, Ryan Christensen. So shout out to you, Ryan. I appreciate you for your support. Guys, if you want to join our coffee page is coffee, ko-fi/LGR_network. You know, Ryan, to get shout outs, personalized shout outs. We appreciate you, Ryan, for all the support. We appreciate you for helping us out on the playoff beards with Snark. We just generally appreciate your support. We've known you for a couple of years now, I believe 3 to 4 years. So shout out to you if you want to join our so be supportive like Ryan. Join our coffee page. We go $3. It's just like Patreon, but it's better in the sense that we don't give you unnecessary fees. It's $3, $5, 10, 15, and 25. You know, you pick the tier for you. $3 gets you into the Discord. $10 gets you into the our Pick'ems leagues and our exclusive exclusive watch-alongs and appearances on the post-credit scenes. $15, we're gonna revamp it. Fix it, give you a little more bang for your buck. Currently, we have it for the fantasy football. We appreciate you for all the members. You know, you also get a shot to get on the fantasy football roundup, which airs every Thursday on the channel. So there's that. So and then $25, you basically become a producer. You show up on any show of your choice, So there's that. And you also can also recommend a show to do, like a topic. So there's that as well. But again, Ryan, thank you so much for your support for over the years. We appreciate you, and we hope that you continue your support in the coming years. So everyone have a wonderful day. Hope you guys like this video. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. Stay safe, stay calm, and we'll see you guys next week where, at least have something new to talk about, but possibly not. Peace.